Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dr. Thomas Sowell on the phone with us from Stanford, and he's at the Hoover Institution at Stanford. He's the Rose and Milton Friedman Fellow. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Good being here.
Hey, that was really a great piece that you wrote in your syndicated column, Judicial Betrayal. And one of the things you point out, well, right now they're calling it a tax. That's what Justice Roberts said. But in the legislation, it made no mention of that.
I know. What he did by calling it a tax was give the administration some semblance of an excuse for exercising this power other than the Commerce Clause. Since there's been some holding back on the vast scope of the Commerce Clause in recent Supreme Court decisions. But in reality, the question is, does the government, even whether they call it a tax, a penalty, or the Commerce Clause, where do they get these power in the Constitution to tell individuals what to do in matters that are not specifically enumerated there as the powers of the federal government?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I think one of the tragedies, Tom, is that it's laying the groundwork for what else can they tell us to do?
Pretty much anything they feel like telling us to do, as long as Chief Justice Roberts is on the court, or worse yet, if Obama gets reelected and starts appointing his own Supreme Court justices, who will then rubber stamp virtually anything he wants to do.
It seems to me, and I don't know this, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but the United States Congress has the spending power. It can appropriate and authorize spending. Can I get your guess why the Republican-controlled Congress just will not say to HSS, we will not authorize any funding for any part of the program?
Wow, that's a great question. I don't have an equally great answer. I suppose they could do that if they had the guts, which is a very big if in the case of congressional Republicans.
Whether it's a Republican president or congressman or senator, they just lack the will. But and sometimes I feel some sympathy for their lack of will, because it would be my impression that any congressman who would follow the Constitution, the strict interpretation of the Constitution, he would be run out of town by his constituents.
Maybe so, but there's no empirical test of that since none of them have tried it.
That's absolutely right.